Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of things. One, how I finish the backside of my projects, and two, how I take a project that wasn't necessarily my favorite and redid it using the same monk's cloth. Let's get started with how I finish the backside of my projects. I first determine whether or not I'm keeping it. So if I'm keeping it, I just glue the backside of the project. But if I'm giving it away, I glue it and I actually put some material, some cloth to secure the project. So with the glue, you may ask, well, what kind of glue can I use? I think you can probably use any type of glue. In my stash, I have Elmer's, Mod Podge, and Deco Art because I do other projects, and so I use a variety of glues. And so for my punch needle projects, I tend to lean to Elmer's. I think maybe once I used Mod Podge, but generally I use Elmer's. And so for me, I like to put it in a container, which is like this half cup that you see, and apply it with a paintbrush. That's what I like to do. If you have a squeeze top bottle of glue, you could apply it that way and smooth it out. If you wanted to just uncap the bottle and pour it, you can do it that way as well. Me personally, I just like to apply with a brush because I just have more control and it allows me to get into the crevices of the stitches. So as it relates to dry time, I would say for the create, it took about, I don't know. I really don't know. I think it really took less than 24 hours. But for the fall, it took longer because I had to apply more glue. And so you may ask, well, how much glue should you apply? I think for projects that are flat, less glue is required. But if you have loops on the backside and they're longer loops or just varying heights of loops, I would say you would want to apply more, just to be sure that everything is secure. And so for the fall, I think it took maybe about 36 hours. It definitely took longer than the create. The create may have been dried in 12 hours, if that. I really don't remember. But the fall, yeah, I think it took 2 days to completely dry. And so later in this project, actually in a few minutes, I'm going to let you hear how it sounds, once it's completely dried. So I try to lay the loops down as much as possible because again, I'm giving this away. And so I want to make sure that they're as flat as possible so that when I add the cloth to cover all of this, nothing's bulging out. And so I really took my time with this. As it relates to applying the glue, I just think having a decent amount, not drowning. I don't think your project needs to drown in glue, but it just needs to be enough so that it's secure. And so that's what I attempted to do, what I believe I did successfully with all 3 of these projects. And if you are interested in checking out any of these projects that I've shown, they will be linked in the description below, and more than likely they'll be in the cards as well. So now I am going to let you hear how it sounds once these projects are completely dried. To finish the backside of the fall, I take some cloth. I think this is like a cotton blend. I'm not really good with materials and being able to say what is what. All I know is that I went to Joann's and it was soft and I was like, this is it. So I take my scissors, I cut it, and yes, my cutting is a little wonky, and so I winded up taking it to my cutting mat to clean that up, and I use my staple gun to apply the cloth, and apparently I did not realize my staple gun was near empty, so I had to refill it and then go around this project and just staple it down. And so after I stretch it, I did have to cut some more off, but this is pretty much it. This is how I complete projects that I give away. So here's the project that wasn't a favorite of mine. And I decided this needed a redo. And so this is one of the projects that I did when I first started punch needling. So I think if you want to think of it in terms of a timeline of videos, although there is not a video up for this, I would say that I probably did this like after video 1 or 2. So this was like brand new to punch needling when I did this project. And I was just really like testing things out and just trying things. And so I did it all those months ago. Didn't like it, didn't hate it, but just it wasn't my favorite. So I was like, okay, let me redo this at some point in time. And not only let me redo it, but let me share this process with you all. And also, let me try these Lavore punch needles that I have. So I have 4 Lavore punch needles, and I have 2 that are 4mm, and I have 2 that are 5.5mm. And so the ones on screen are new. I mean, I've had them for a while, but this is my first time using them. And they're different than the ones that I typically use, which are the ergonomic Lavore adjustable needles. These are my absolute favorites. They are so comfortable in hand, and I really, really like them and enjoy using them. And I'm just showing you how they look different, but they do operate the same. So to get this started, I have to take all of this out. I have to take all of this yarn out. And I will say the leaves were a breeze. Oh, it was so easy. I just, found the end and just started pulling, and it came out just fine. The flower, however, it wasn't as easy. It came out, but it just wasn't as quick as the leaves. So let me know in the comments if you're new to punch needling or if you have been doing this for a while. Have you ever had a project that wasn't your favorite and you didn't know what to do with it, or you just kind of tossed it aside, or you took the time to try to redo it? Let me know in the comments if that has been your experience. And also, let me know in the comments how you finish the backsides of your projects. Like, do you glue them? Do you just add cloth? Or do you have any other type of technique that you use to finish your projects? I would love to hear what you have to say on both of those points. All of the stitches are out, and you'll see the yarn that I took out, and most of it is actually reusable. There were pieces that I had to cut off, but I'll be able to reuse the yarn, so I am really excited about that. And so now I'm going to add my monk's cloth to the hoop, and I am going to stretch it, tighten it, tap it to see if it sounds like a drum. Go through that process a few times, and then I am going to start punch needling my project. So this is that project where I had this idea in mind in terms of like highlighting the veins, I guess it is, of the leaves, and it just didn't go well. It just did not. Like, I was like, this is not working. Oh my gosh. So what you see in the process right now is not what you'll see at the end of this video, but stay with me. And I think that's the beauty of punch needling, because if you do something and it doesn't look right, or you just don't like it, it could look right, but you just may not like it. You can take it out and redo it. So that's what I did. I did that. I did some cutting. I did a lot. And I have spared you from all of that. I really have, because it was a lot. And so I winded up using the teal and the multicolored yarn for the leaves, and I used my 5.5 Lavore adjustable punch needle for that. And then for the flower, I used the 4mm needle, and I'm using white for that, and that's about it. Now, I know you saw another colored yarn, and I think I mentioned this, but in case I did not, I used it and it wasn't giving me what I was looking for. And I'm like, I'm already redoing this. Like, we're not gonna like redo this again. So like redo an entire project again. So I just decided to take that out, take out those stitches and take it out of this final video, and just decide to go with the white for the flower. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for spending the time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And thank you so very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.